hoping in the hope. There is this movie, and I think the name of this movie was called The Rookie. And it's about this 35-year-old man who wanted to be a pro baseball player all of his life. Growing up, he just loved baseball. He lived baseball. I believe he ate baseball. I believe he slumped baseball. His life was all about baseball. But because of the situation with his father and moving from place to place, he never got his opportunity to really show his skills and his experience and what he knew about baseball. He was a pitcher. And he always, in all of his life, wanted to be a major league baseball player. Now, at 35, you don't go out and play baseball. At 35, you don't throw, because the older you get, the weaker your arm get. The older you get, the slower you throw, you pitch the ball. But this man, he was at 35 and he was throwing 98 miles an hour baseball at 35. And nobody could believe. They thought maybe the radar guns were broke or something was wrong. He's at 35, and then one statement was, when you find out what I saw today, you let me know. Because one of the scouts said, you know how fast you was throwing? You was throwing a 98, I said 85, a 98 miles an hour baseball, and you're 35, and that shouldn't be. But he had a hope. He had a feeling that he could be what he wanted to be at some time. But see, his dad didn't have the same hope that he had. And he tried out, and he got all these calls from all these scouts, and everybody was all crazy about it, because they just couldn't believe that here's this 35-year-old man, and he's throwing a baseball like a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 21-year-old. He's 35, and he shouldn't have been doing this. 98 miles an hour. 98 miles an hour ball. So they said, so we tried out. He took his bench week. He just tried out because he challenged. He was the coach of a high school baseball team. So he challenged his team. If you all would have started winning, I'll try out. And the team hope of the coach trying out, they started winning. And they became champion. If I remember, I think they became state champion. Just because of their hope about his hope. So he tries out for it, and they can't believe it. So they call him back for another trial, and it's pouring down, raining out there. And he's got, I guess this little boy is maybe 8 or 9 years old, and this little boy is standing there watching his dad, and his eyes is big as a 50-cent piece, because he just cannot imagine. He is so proud of his dad, and so it is pouring down, raining, and he is still throwing a 98 mile an hour baseball in the pouring down rain. So he gets to go on in the minor league. And he makes it to the major league. And so everybody's there, and his wife is there, and his kids are there, and finally they call him up, and he's out there. His whole team is there. His whole town is there, because he plays his first game in his hometown. So his whole town is there. And then, so they call him up, pitcher after pitcher, they get him in practice. So they finally call him up to get warmed up. So everybody's over there excited about his feeling of a hope. Because it's all he's got right now is a feeling of hope. And this feeling of hope is what has driven him for 35 years. So finally, he comes out his first time, 35 years old. And think about that. Which means with God, there is no age limits. 35-year-old, he takes the mound on a major league team for his first time. And the coach comes up to him, gives the ball, and says, just throw me what you showed me. Throw the heat. So his first one, he didn't 35 years now, there's a whole lot of weight, there's a whole lot of pressure that's on this one woman. He didn't let fear take over. He takes the mound. And he winds up and he gets in his position, and his first ball that he throws in a major league team is 98 miles an hour. And he striking them out one after the other. Hope is such an amazing thing. Hope can help you when you're in a prison of war and you love golf and you play golf over and over and over in your mind while you're in a prison of war. And when you get out, you win in the golf tournament. But you never played on a course for the whole time you was a prisoner of war. You played 9 holes in your head. But hope kept him alive in a prison of war. But see, look, there is 3 definitions of hope. See, we have the English definition of hope just mean a feeling of something that may happen. The Hebrew definition of hope is trust. The Greek definition of hope is expecting something to happen. So we're hoping on what? Our what? Hope. We're trusting in something that we what? Expect to happen. We're not even going to talk about the English version today. Amen. We're not even going to use the English version of hope. We're not going to have a feeling that something's going to happen, because we're going to trust it. In the Old Testament, in Hebrew, when you see hope in there, it says hope in God. What it's saying is what? Trust in God. That's what they're saying in the Old Testament. Whenever you see hope, they're saying trust in whatever it is that you're hoping in. It's saying trust. But see, you don't finish trusting in God. Now you don't step over into the New Testament and you expect him to do something.
Amen. No longer hoping.
Did somebody get that one? Did you get that one? You know, the whole time, if you are a true believer in God, you was back then in your olden days, you was trusting that he would do it. You was trusting that it was going to happen. But all of a sudden, you took a next level movement into a New Testament experience, and you're no longer just trusting it because you know he's going to do it. He's going to do it. So you're walking in and expecting that it's going to happen. Not a maybe, but you expecting something to happen because he's saying something will happen, because God is a promise keeper. I'm expecting it. I ain't no feeling about this thing. I'm expecting